Hey Chicago golfers, this is my favorite time of the year. It is Masters Week. Today is the start of the 2025 Masters, which also means it's the beginning of golf season here in Chicago. I know a lot of you have been working on your golf skills indoors on a simulator, but now it's time to transfer our skills outdoors to the golf course. So in this video, I have 5 mindset tips that you can learn from watching the best players in the world play the best golf course in the world. Let's go ahead and dive in. Mindset tip number 1, be prepared for your round of golf. I'm going to highly recommend downloading the Masters app. Not only can you see all their shots on the course, you could watch the best players in the world warm up on the range before their round. What you're going to see when they're on the range, they're going to practice the exact shots that they're going to need on the golf course. We could do the same thing. Download an app like Baby Fade where you could see the golf course before you play it. Look at the distances of the par 3s that you're going to play. Practice those iron shots on the range. Look at the tee shots that you're going to need. Some will be driver holes, some might be a hybrid or a long iron. Strategize before your round. I'm also going to highly recommend getting to the golf course 30 to 45 minutes before your round so that way you can warm up your body, practice hitting chips and practice hitting putts. Get a feel for hitting off of grass since you've been indoors all winter. But mindset tip number 1, be prepared for your round of golf. Mindset tip number 2, use a pre-shot routine. Every single player that you're gonna watch play the Masters, they're gonna start from behind the golf ball and visualize a successful outcome of the shot. We're going to use that old golf saying, see it, feel it, trust it. So step 1 of our pre-shot routine is visualize. This is where the players are going to take in information with how far the shot is, if there's wind in our face, what the elevation is, but really visualize a successful outcome. All right. Part 2 of the routine will put a feel in our body. So if it's a short game shot, make some practice swings. Ask yourself, is this the right size and speed to execute the shot? If it's a full swing, maybe you just had a golf lesson, this is your chance to take your lesson and put it into a 1-second feel before you hit your shot. So that way, when we walk into it, that'd be part number 3, we could trust it. I want you to take a deep cleansing breath. Let all the tension out. Walk into your shot, ground yourself, then trust what you just visualized. So mindset tip number 2, use a pre-shot routine. Mindset tip number 3, stay in the present. Now, when we're watching these players play in the Masters, especially on Sunday, it's easy to see when they get nervous. What's happening, they're getting ahead of themselves. They can't help but think, man, if I just par out, I'm gonna win the Masters. You know, they're thinking about the future when really they need to lose themselves in the details of the present shot. It's also possible that they're not playing very good. They just hit it in the water and they let that affect their decisions going forward. They start making high risk plays. So instead of just accepting that they had a bad shot, they try to catch up and try to make a hero shot. And that's not what we want to do when we're out there on the golf course. It sounds a little cliche, but we really want to take it one shot at a time. Being in the present, lose yourself in the details of the shot. You know, in between shots, look around you, look at nature, talk to your friends, but you don't have to dwell on your past bad shots. And if you're playing well, you don't have to think, hey, if I par out, I'm going to shoot in the 80s for the first time. So let's try to stay in the present with every shot you play out on the course. Mindset tip number 4, adapt to the conditions. Now, I love watching the Masters when it gets really windy, when the greens get super fast. The course looks impossible, and I just love watching the best players in the world, struggle on the golf course. But what we have to do when we're out there, we have to be able to adapt to the conditions. If it's really windy, we got to practice taking, 1, 2, maybe sometimes 3 extra golf clubs when we're into the wind. When we're downwind, sometimes it affects the speed of our putts. It's going to be really, really fast. So whoever could adapt to the conditions conditions the fastest usually does well. And really, when we're out there on the golf course, we're trying to avoid blow-up holes. So, be very aware of the weather conditions that are out there. And especially here in Chicago, it just gets so windy. We've had so much rain, the ground is wet. A lot of you are going to be hitting the ground before the ball. It's going to be a shock to the system because you haven't done that off a golf mat. So, be easy on yourself when you're adapting to the conditions. I always try to tell my golfers, give yourself 3-4 rounds to start to adapt from a completely different environment from being indoors, playing outside. Now you're starting to hit off of hills and hit different lengths grasses, but be able to adapt to the conditions once you're out there on the golf course. All right, the fifth and last mindset tip is to be resilient in the face of adversity. I love watching these guys have a double or a triple bogey, but not give up. You would think that they're out of the tournament, but they are resilient. They're dogs, they're gonna go. So, be your own caddy when you're out there on the golf course. You have to have some positive self-talk to yourself out on the course. If you just had a bad hole, instead of going down a downward spiral, being like, man, I practice and I play like shit out here on the golf course, you have to be like, hey, that was just a bad hole. I just hit one bad shot. We can bring ourselves back. We got a lot of golf left to play. Let's see what we could do here. Let's focus on the next shot. Let's see if we get a par. Let's ride this ship. Let's bring it back. So be resilient in the face of adversity when you go out there to the golf course. So I hope you enjoyed these mindset tips that you could learn from watching the Masters this week. It's just so fun to see how these players control their emotions and adapt to the environment and stay calm and cool when the whole world is watching. My pick this week is Bryson. I would love to see him win this tournament. I would also love to see Rory win this tournament. So happy Masters to you. And if you need any help with your game, come on into my Chicago Golf and we can take care of you. Thank you.